all these champions come into my mind immediately that are wide open for either team to be able to take.
And it's still the same bats to come out from EDG as well, so obviously Renekton is one of those better matchups in towards the Sett, but he's just been perma-banned on towards LPL, obviously. Historically seen a lot of play here, so Sett coming in as the first pick, and I think that's quite reasonable to do. It does leave open a lot of AP junglers to pair it up with, and I'd prefer the Diana from what we've seen recently. Rumble with some of the changes obviously are falling out a bit, and it seems like Diana is just a bit easier for a lot of the LPL teams to snowball with, but obviously not a bad champion, not something that's bad to pair up with, but it does leave open for EDG to pick up the Diana Sett composition themselves.
Yeah, I would have personally been a bigger fan of seeing Aki onto that Diana. The Rumble, while it is his second most played champion behind Xin Zhao, I think that they've had such great success when you have the Wombo combo. The Diana followed up by something else, something that can make sure they can really drive the forces home to be able to pick apart anybody, especially EDG. You have to be able to pick them apart because now they have these tools to have that fun composition, the Lee Sin kick into the Diana, immediate moonfall on it, the Wombo combo, even a Sett on top of that as well to draw everyone on top of one another.
God, this top side of the map from EDG is just so damn OP. Like, this is S tier on S tier on S tier to come through. Obviously, OMG still has stuff to play for themselves with the Viego, but it's not the same kind of setup. The movement you can get from Diana to get in towards this one, the setup there is when you gang a Sett line, the mixed damage, the tanking capabilities if you want to pull off a dive is just going to be absolutely huge. And now, they want to go for the Ezreal again for Abel, still, of course, one of the most stable ADs when you're playing for the top side of the map, but this time around, they need to pinpoint the champion pool a bit further for the bot lane of EDG, and they're starting by removing the Thresh of Meiko, which I think should have done ages ago in the other game as well.
I agree. They make sure they understand that they have to actually hurt the bot lane. They cannot let Viper and Meiko dominate them once again. This Ezreal especially is going to struggle into so many of the different picks that Viper has. He is an historic ADC. He has so many different champions that he can play to such an incredible degree that Varus is the one that still is standing out to me. Now, without that Thresh, not expecting to see the Aphelios, I'm expecting it to be something to bully Abel in lane.
Yeah, but I mean, Varus is still up and available. The Lulu Cockmore is still up and available if that's what you're going to for. The Braum obviously will still be fine into as a disengaging champion as well, paired up with any ADC. And it's just the fact that EDG right now has gotten 3 huge priority picks on towards themselves, and they can still pick S tiers down towards the bottom side with the Nautilus, Varus, with the not Thresh Varus, but the Varus as well. OMG though, they are going to finalize the top side of the map here. It's going to be the Aatrox together with the Viego to kind of brawl up here in the early game, but it's still kind of hard. It's going to be interesting to see what EDG will finalize for their bot lane here.
Yeah, this Aatrox Sett matchup is one of skill, one that you're trying to see if you can bully and win out, but it is going to be on a knife's edge that is not necessarily easy for New to be able to beat Flandre in. Well, he could try to be able to get that early play to try to see if he can take over and lay down a kingdom in the top lane. It is going to be tricky because all across the board, you can see that EDG are trying to be able to win out in the early stages. They can win out if they can just take control of the laning phase like they always do.
Okay, Alistar to come in here as a bit of disengage, still fine. You can knock some of them away and keep them knocked up in a group scenario, but you need to snowball your solo lanes as OMG here, because if you just don't go even in towards the composition of EDG, they only want to do one thing. They want to dive your backline, and they want to jump in as 5, because they're capable of doing that. On the other side of OMG, you have the Ezreal that's obviously going to be able to poke down a bit, but if no one is there to make sure he's going to get to that point in the game, if no one is there to make sure the Aatrox stays even and is still an annoying frontliner together with the Viego, it's just going to go south real quick.
It is. Even with the potential for OMG to have a lot of... They want to exert that power onto the Rift in Game 2 over OMG to slap them back, teach them a lesson, and tell them that they do not belong at the top. The top belongs purely to EDG.
And once again, there is still obviously potential from the side of OMG. They do have some pick potential with the Alistar, with the CC can get out of Creme. Creme?
Ooh, he was
needs
playing
to be a bit careful as well.
There. He was looking a little risky there, but he is going to be safe. He is just constantly trying to see if he can utilize that Blade of the Ruined King, poking out at anyone who might be in the brush, but nobody's there. Now he's called for the reinforcements. Cold, Abel are both here trying to see if they can escape. Jiejie had actually peeled off for the time being. The flash coming in from Cold to be able to survive, but Creme, the blast cone, it might not be in time. He finally was able to get to it to survive, but at what cost?
That's a huge disaster for Creme. His laning phase is going to be so botched now. Viper and Meiko even healing off towards Abel.
Oh man, Abel having to flash. Finally a summoner spent on the side of the spot lane. They got the one out of Cold, but now out of Abel. And look at Flandre. Every lane of EDG is exerting full control over OMG. New now, he has to be so cautious facing off against this Sett.
Everything that could go wrong for AMG just went wrong there. I mean, the only thing that could have been worse was someone getting first, but of course, Nude needs to be a bit careful with this trading pattern.
Speaking of first blood right now, Nude had to flash away. You nearly cast or cursed it this time.
I mean, I genuinely thought Nude was just going to die there. He went very greedy going up on towards this one. Creme's had to TP back already. And he didn't even TP with all of his HP because he had to TP quickly, or else he was going to lose too much XP from this one as well. EDG from the get-go is just accelerating all the pressure they can on the map, and it's coming individually from their own agency.
It is. That's 2 TPs now for OMG use just to get back into lane, just so they're not hemorrhaging that much against EDG. But you can see Flandre says, all right, New, you're back in lane. Welcome. Welcome to the Brawl Club, the Fight Club top lane. All he's ever going to look to do is deny anything New might be able to pick up.
Here's the problem, though. If any of these laners die, they don't have TP. They're going to be losing so much.
Speaking of that, Creme just wanted to escape. Going to be the follow-up with the Sonic Wave coming in from Scout to force off Creme. Wait a minute, he's continuing this. He knows there's no flash, and oh, there it is. He will be able to get over the wall just barely.
Yeah, and he was able to do that. Meanwhile, that happened. Meiko was actually tanking that minion wave you see right now to make sure that Scout was not going to lose anything whatsoever. Really nice coming out from Meiko. And that also means Creme. Not only did he lose his flash and had to back, he's losing so many resources in the mid lane at the same time. Remember, no TP. And up towards the top side of the map, Jiejie is looking for New with no summoners either.
This whole time, Jiejie's just been able to clear out his jungle without any worries, without any problems. And now, finally being able to show up somewhere. It's the top lane, flashing away from the Eternal Chain so they can pick up first blood and gift it over this jungler.
And there we go. Really easy pickings coming through from that one. And there's nothing for him New to do here. He's just no summoners, nothing to go for. It's all ending. And now, with no TP being up for him either, he's not going to be able to pick up this wave.
No, this draft, they drafted the Aatrox as the skill answer into Sett, hoping that it was going to be on to New, knowing how to play this Aatrox into this matchup, and it has gone horribly for OMG. He is so far behind, even if it's only an assist for Flandre. He doesn't care. He gave gold to the AP damage, their Diana, to make sure that Jiejie is going to be completely out of control.
Yeah, that's the thing. Now, Scout did just TP back a couple of minutes ago and did get forced out fairly low, but with him being able to reset on an even wave state, he should be able to pick up his first item going in towards this one. And I'd love to compare the items between him and Creme when it finally happens, because Creme right now, obviously only sitting on the Doran's together with the Cold, while Scout, he's got 1600 in the inventory and still hasn't backed just yet.
So this is actually what is a little curious for me with OMG. The fact that that call pickup for Creme, they're trying to see if they can get these items still. They understand that this early game, these first few minutes, have been absolutely miserable for them. Yet if they can somehow get this ability to hold on, if they just don't die too much, if that first death in the top lane is the only one they suffer, they will have an ability when they get these item spikes to contend against EDG.
Here's the thing, though, that first step shouldn't be the last either, just due to the fact that it's still going to be 1 minute at least before that flash is up and available. The minion wave is pushing through, so Flandre, yes, it's a big minion wave, but he could freeze it right here. He could just force a play onto New.
Oh, no. He doesn't have flash, doesn't have World Ender, and that's damage in from Jiejie and Flandre in tandem is an easy second kill.
And I pity him. I really do. There's not much you can do in that situation. Sett here, together with the Diana, there's a reason this composition is picked so often. Because it's just so potent together with how easy the setup is. That's what you're lacking right now for OMG, and we talked about it. Their composition, they need to snowball, because they're just going to get out-scaled already by the EDG team comp. They have so many S-tier champions in their composition.
This is where, as an OMG fan, even though I'm an EDG fan as well, it's like watching my two children fight, but I want it to be close. I want this game to be back and forth, but here it just looks like EDG, they understand how OMG want to play at all times, and they're able to get everything they ever could want out of every play.
Yeah, even when they're screwing up a little bit, like not hitting the crescent strike of the kick there, they're still losing out on the side of OMG. Creme, forced to back once again, had to use the Heartbreaker to get out. Doesn't have TP, is going to lose another wave. And it's all these small margins that keep stacking up as well for the side of EDG to get them these leads. They're getting leads even if they're not getting kills.
And sometimes that's what's the making of a best team, a great team, a successful team, is even if you don't get the kills, you know how to play from there. You force out Creme, so you get more control for Scout. You can rotate around. You can get control of the river like they've had at this moment to make sure they can always secure every objective away and strangle the life out of OMG.
And that's the thing, and they're going to be looking for it now with appears to be Yaki's first roam. We can see Creme on the minimap as well is in picture now and is moving up as well. Let's see if they can pull off a dive against Flandre.
Isn't that familiar? That sounds like something we saw last game. A 2v1 situation that Flandre was able to turn around immediately from there. I'm glad that OMG peel back off there because Flandre just isn't the target.
They're trying to look for a blue buff instead, but I think even then, if you stay around, you're not going to be winning.
Oh, speaking of winning bot lane, there's a big fight happening back and forth. The level 8 came in for the side of OMG. They're getting a lot of damage back onto Viper. Viper's got to be careful. Try to see if they can turn it back around on a Meiko. They've got Mystic Shot after Mystic Shot. They got the knock-up combo, but the turret, it turns it around. Viper's able to get the kill onto Cold, and Abel, he can't do anything from here.
Nothing's going right for them. Even when it's looking to be good down in that 2v2, the overextension comes through, and I can't help but feel bad for them, you know? Obviously, EDG's draft is already superior. It's easier to play it out, but the fact that the small margins like this is happening as well, it's... oh no. It's just not working out for them, is it?
It's not, and this is showing us why EDG are truly the best in the league. They know how to draft, they know how to play at every stage. Bot lane being able to kite that back and punish Cold's overextension. So now bot lane, even if that was the closest lane for OMG, now it is done and dusted. Mid lane, now have no control. Top lane, no control. Jungle, no control. So they have to go back to the drawing board and figure out what they could possibly do to drag back this game.
Well, it looks like at least they're going to be getting a Drake for themselves while Jiejie is busy taking over the Rift Herald. What kind of sucks though is that they're never, or they might be, but they're not going to be in position where they can capitalize on the next Drake. Jiejie, with this Rift Herald, can just be looking for gang up towards the top side of the map, and I don't think New can do anything about it. He just have to back off.
I don't even know if it's necessarily a gank, just taking the turret, but New decided to show back up with the World Ender. He had a lot of damage onto Flandre, forced to use the Haymaker Punch to be able to survive, but Creme's going to be able to get the stun on top of him to take him down. So now OMG getting this kill mid lane to help out their mid laner, who has been so crucial to their success in the past. They might even be able to make this play on to Scout mid lane as well. Cold going to be able to get the knockback with the headbutt pulverize on top of an equalizer. Creme's on the other side, perfect to be able to catch Scout.
And here we go, all of a sudden OMG remains competitive. They're using a lot of resources to make this work, but Abel's still going to be able to pick up farm here unless he's getting dived by Meiko and Viper, which I don't think they can do. There's a lot of members coming in here as well.
This is a big turnaround for OMG, even if it's pittance, even if it's so minor and so small. Any gold that they could possibly gain and gather for Aki, for Creme, is going to allow them to get this game back. And if they can continue to make these plays punish EDG, there is that possibility that they can actually pass them in terms of items so they can actually be able to scale up into this game.
100%, and you know, 11 minutes into the game, only 2k behind. We've seen a lot worse. Rift Elder will get dropped down towards the mid lane. I don't think they'll be able to open it up just yet. Oh, it's actually going to come close. That's just gone.
3 members of EDG just having Scout, Flandre, and Jiejie both. Well, all 3 of them be able to wail away on that structure was enough to make sure they could secure that turret, and that is going to open up a lot for EDG.
It most definitely is. We talk about mid lane turret being the first outer turret opened up so many times. It just allows you to get so much pressure in the mid lane. You can push up further, which is going to allow you to move in further to the top side of the jungle, still have a safe path out, and the same is set for the bot side of the map, obviously. So now you can start pinching down these outer turrets. Now you can start looking for dives in the side lanes where you're able to push in the mid lane and then just move up. And you can see they adapt with this as well, with Flandre now moving into the mid lane, him being the facilitator, pushing in the mid lane, and then he can be the one moving out to a side lane.
And here it seems that from that play, EDG was a small little stumble with these kills picked up by OMG. They have moved back to control the jungle, control everything that OMG might hold near and dear.
But they can still keep the game state a bit even. At least they should just be looking to not handshake any of the fights that's coming through from EDG right now. Because, yeah, they started getting a bit ahead, but I don't think as OMG right now that you're winning unless you've got a man advantage. And that's what's making this game so hard for them right now. Beforehand, they were able to capitalize on a dive due to there being a TP coming through from Creme. But right now, your TP is down. Right now, your mid lane is being pushed in. And right now, the pressure is on OMG due to EDG just having so much more on the map right now. So mid lane pushed in, let's see where Flandre goes. Looks like he's going to be looking for the top side of the map here.
Good look to be able to go for yet another dive on Tanu. He has the World Ender available, but here are a lot of big spikes for EDG. You can see that they're getting a lot of these mythics completed, and they're wanting to be able to find some sort of play to kill off members like Nu, who are fairly squishy and fairly easy to execute, even underneath the turret. It might be turned around, nice Haymaker shield, but Aki, perfect placement to be able to make it a 1-for-1.
You 100% take those. If you can trade even, that's perfectly fine in this case scenario. You just want to be able to chase shutdown. You just want to be able to stay relevant. And EDG not making a play with Jiejie there. Had he been up there, it should have been a clear-cut case for sure. But he is around this Drake area. Drake is spawning in 1 minute. And with Jiejie not having shown on the map, it's hard for Abel to walk up on the next minion wave unless there's someone else to keep him to safety. Just because of how strong this Diana is right now.
Yeah, but Diana is going to be the biggest worry for OMG, which makes me wonder that if OMG are able to find Jiejie out of position, be able to punish this, could that be a way for them to now take control of their jungle and push back? Because take a look at this replay, Aki's actually a fair distance away.
Yeah, but I feel like the problem here is that you're creating a play where you want to move the pressure up after having pressure in the mid lane, but you're not coming up here with your jungler, where it's way easier to respond if you're OMG here. You already cleared the bot side of the map. You didn't have the proper vision from EDG right now that you get from having mid lane already taken down. It feels like EDG are rushing some of these plays. You could have pushed in mid, could have used it for vision, could have waited for Jiejie to clear his bot side of the map to wait him to be up there for the top side as well. It's not like the wave state is going to change just because that OMG backs off a little bit, because you're still very much ahead. You're still the one dictating the pace of the game.
Right, and that's where I'm feeling like OMG, if they are able to continually exploit EDG, maybe just making these small, minute mistakes, just not positioning, not bringing up enough members, they might be able to drag back more and more of these leads, because you can see the call is finished for Creme. Wow, Viper, oh man. Viper is just, he's on another level.
Yeah, I guess he just found that solo kill out of nowhere. Once Creme shows topside of the map, there's nothing stopping them from keep pushing this bot lane in further. You can see already in the mid lane, Flandre making the call to just shove it up. After that, he could be moving down towards this bottom side of the map where they could be looking for a dive, but he's actually just going to go look for Creme instead.
Yeah, he wants to be able to get the kill there while Scout... Oh, what? Oh, jeez, what happened? we start talking a little bit about macro, a little bit about analysis, and suddenly 2 solo kills for EDG take place.
Yeah, we talk about how Scout doesn't have the highest kill participation of all the mid laners in the league. Well, it's easy when, you know, people are just finding solo kills instead. So Solo Bolo's coming in for a few of EDG's members here. They pick up the Drake, they pick up the bot lane turret, they pick up the top side turret, and now all outer turrets are gone. Rift Hell is up for the taking as well. And yeah, Viper, it's just a straight up solo kill. He just ults onto it.
And that damage in from him too. Far more than I was expecting. Here we go. The solo kill from Scout on the new. It's just they just know that they're far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to analyze. It's just normal combos coming through. But as you said, like, they're just so far ahead. Everything is connecting, and when the members of OMG, especially Aki, are so busy trying to just, you know, put bandages of all sides of the map, some other places are going to be left open, and they are going to be that weak side. Going for a solo kill, though, that's just EDG styling on them.
It is. This game went suddenly from a 3,000 to 6,000, make it even more. Creme trying to be able to get away, but this is what you wanted to see. They brought Jiejie in, and now they can execute a clean dive.
Yeah, the comms was probably, we need to stop trolling a bit here, guys, after going for so many dives where you trade even, and once the Drake come through, once the outer turret has fallen, once this Rift Hell is going down, I mean, there should be nothing stopping them from trying to reenact what we saw in Game 1, where you just see them go for these instantaneous fight with all their backline right now, and they can go for it. You see how fed they are in the item department. They can skirmish basically everything.
This game was close for a moment. It seemed like EDG were starting to lose control, but they never did. Even with that equalizer, it nearly just tickles the members of EDG. They've got Flandre looking to see if they can kill Aki underneath the tower with Scout, but they've got all this damage on top of Creme. He cannot escape from them. The kick coming in. Scout wants to be able to pick up Abel on the other side while Nu is taking so much control away from the team, but Scout, he knows now they have to turn around so Viper can continue to pad that KDA.
And with this, they still have the Rift Hell. They can either just go for the reset, or they can just look up and up the mid lane turret. And it looks like that is what they're going to be doing. They keep the pressure up here, EDG and OMG. They're not able to get a single step in towards this game.
No, they can't. And now, Jiejie just killed... Oh, Abel! He can't catch a break, can he?
It's the fact that you're looking at EDG right now, and one thing is that their players are some of the best there is in the entire league, but it's also the fact that they're sitting on the best champions you can on this patch as well. This draft that they have acquired for themselves is absolutely insane, and the fact that they're not losing this skirmish where they're all just caught in between each other. Meiko's stuck in the equalizer. The fight is insanely split with Scout in the background, Flandre going down towards the top side. I can't imagine how OMG are just not picking up kills. They're just so far behind, and EDG is just doing an amazing job at splitting them up.
They just have no damage because how far behind they are. It's not really fair at this point. And then you fast forward, Abel, he thinks he's safe. He's like, all right, it's fine. I'm Ezreal, right? I can get away from this. And Jiejie's like, nah. Let me teach you a lesson.
It's just so unfair, though. Jiejie didn't even hit the Crescent Strike there, but he still gets onto them. He gets it onto the minion wave, gets the ultimate, and I guess that's just all there is to it.
When you're this far
and obviously
ahead, it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, that is crazy. It's just crazy. Obviously, we talk about Drake, win condition, 1 minute hit spawns. I don't think that's what EDG are looking for at this point.
No, but they are looking instead to just win. They want to be able to get another victory just as quickly as last game. They got the 22 minutes and 6 seconds to beat, and right now they're pushing in. Sure, they're not able to crack that inhibitor nearly as quickly as they did in Game 1, but they are so far ahead. They have another 10,000 gold lead as we just crest the 20-minute mark, so they decide immediately to take the Baron with just 3 members.
I mean, why not? They absolutely shred this thing with Kaisa in the background. Viper there as well. TPs are now coming through. I don't think there's much OMG can stop this.
I don't even think they're going to be able to stop it. It's the equalizer, and the true shot rush does not steal it away. Jiejie is able to secure it, and now Aki, because he's so far out, he's probably going to be caught out. You can see Viper diving into the back line, getting all this damage on top of him. Flandre gets a kill. Scout gets a kill. Look for more. It's 2 into Scout's pockets on this Lee Sin. The mid laner and support only wants to be able to survive. I take it back because they are able to kill the cow and make them into burgers.
Game 1 finished in 22 minutes. They can still speedrun this one. OMG, any percent speedrun to come through from EDG here and make it an even faster one. If they could do this in less than 1 minute.
I think they're going to.
It's been absolutely insane that you're watching a Series 1 in less than an hour from EDG.
Well, look at Creme. Creme's putting up a valiant fight at the end, but really it's just a fight at the end because we know that EDG are going to claim victory in a 2-0. They get their revenge from having lost just the other day. They want to make sure that they can show everyone why we've been praising them throughout the summer split.
We won't get the speedrun done, all completed here.
Not
Rather,
yet.
it will take longer than the first game, but we're 21 minutes into the game. Baron has just been picked up. It was a close one, kinda. But Jiejie had that one all under control with the smite coming through on 600 HP. And here we just kind of see how a good backline composition works. Like, it's so easy for Viper to join whichever fight he plays just due to there being so much setup on every lane. Scout can kick, Jiejie can hold, Flandre can just face breaker. It's so easy to facilitate all of each other here on this team as EDG has drafted themselves.
This is the typical EDG. Even if it's not the S tier champions on a patch, they just play so damn well. Each one of them understands their strengths, their weaknesses, when they can play, what they can do, and making sure that they can force this team that has been doing so well, that has been surprising many, and show everyone why it's not a surprise that EDG are able to wipe the floor with them.
We said it ourselves, OMG, they really needed to snowball this one, but EDG, as you said, they want to be the best team in the league. They want to finalize that first position with a win over OMG.
Yeah, they are still mad about that loss against Top Esports. This could have been their undefeated split had it not been for that tough series. The 40-minute games in both of game 1 and 2 here. Pretty much having both these games that could have taken place as opposed to just the one against Top Esports, and now they dive underneath the inhibitor turrets. They've got everything that they can pick apart OMG. They've got no damage on OMG. Nobody to really be able to fight back, and even with an inhibitor turret to try to be able to defend them, they take out Cold and New simultaneously, with only Creme being the sole survivor once again. He tries to see if he can do anything, but it is game, it is set, it is match for EDG to reign supreme in the LPL and force back this new team and say, this is not your place, this is ours.
And there you go, that is just the best team we have in LPL.